This is Yosef Bilal Bruer with ESFIworld.com, and I'm here at the GESL for day 2, and I'm sitting with Slayers Alicia. First off, congratulations on placing second at MLG Spring Championship. How big of a tournament was that for you, and did you imagine yourself placing at top 2 going into that event?
He said he had no idea he was going to be second, and at first he thought, oh, you know, I'm winning a couple of games, it's going pretty good, but he had no idea he was going to place that high. He thought, let me just win enough games so that I could at least take some money home, but he ended up winning a lot of more games than he thought.
Well, has placing second in MLG Spring Championship changed the way you look at yourself as a top StarCraft 2 player? And did you think you could achieve such a big goal like so early in your career?
When he was sitting in the booth playing, he thought, oh, I finally did it, and there's only one more player in front of me, and just having that thought in his mind, he thought, oh, I achieved something, and from now he says he's going to concentrate on winning more games.
일단 준우승까지 준우승한 것만으로도 전 영광이라고 생각하고요. 그냥 뭐 앞으로도 이런 좀 어떻게 보면은 제가 해낸 거잖아요. 앞으로도 이런 기회가 오면 꼭 우승하고 싶어요.
Well, how are you feeling coming into this event after such a good placing at MLG?
He likes this tournament, but the only downside is that there is a lot of waiting time, like downtime. But that's the only thing. But yeah, all the players, they are relatively confident, including himself.
기다리는 시간이 너무 많아가지고 MLG는 게임량이 많고 여긴 기다리는 시간이 많다고 저희 게이머들끼리 많이 얘기를 했어요. 그래서 그냥 근데 막 굉장히 선수들한테 대우도 괜찮고 해서 그냥 좋은 것 같아요.
Well, how was day 1 for you yesterday? There was a little bit of delays in the beginning, and that messed up play a little bit. How did day 1 go for you? I mean, you still went 2-0 and did well, obviously, but how was that overall with the wait times and practicing and just staying in the mentality for your games?
He said, yeah, there was a lot of waiting time, and he was kind of getting tired because of that, but he was able to get in some practice, and his games went relatively well with the Terran and the Zerg player that he faced off yesterday, and yeah, he just wishes he doesn't have to wait as much today.
We had MLG last week, obviously, and then we have this weekend. How do you feel about back-to-back tournaments? Has that been helping your play to keep you keep your momentum going from MLG?
He said it's more so it depends on his condition. If he's feeling good, then it doesn't matter if he got no rest. Personally, he feels like it doesn't really matter playing back-to-back.
Well, in your group, you have a mix of races. You have 2 other Protoss players, 2 Terrans, and 1 Zerg. Do you feel at a disadvantage having to play and prepare for all 3 races, or are you pretty much ready for anything?
He says it doesn't really matter that much, but if you look at it that way, then yeah, it is easier to have like 1 race face off because he has to prepare for all 3.
어떻게 보면은 한 종족만 있는 게 한 종족이나 2 종족. 그게 좋은 것 같아.
You're in Group D with MVP Tails, Infinity 7 Axelav, EG the Muslim, Dasuki, and Quantic the Agnes. Is there anyone in your group that you're worried about playing coming into day 2?
He says he's most worried about Tails and the Muslim, and he says if he gets through them, he has a good chance to get maybe 1st or 2nd place, he feels like.
Well, how do you feel about the single elimination bracket tomorrow if you do make it into the championship bracket? Is it odd knowing that if you lose like 1 series, you'll be eliminated instead of just dropping into a loser's bracket?
He says it's just like in MLG they do have a loser's bracket. He says at the end it's basically the same thing because it's just it depends on how you play.
Okay. Well, do you think you have to change your playstyle a little bit to go into games or with a different mentality going into a single elimination bracket?
He says the only thing that actually holds him back from like any tournament is actually like himself because he gets really nervous. But if he calms down a little bit, then he could play any tournament just fine.
Well, how would you compare playing tournaments here in the States as opposed to the GSL and other tournaments in Korea?
The main thing about GSL is that they're given way too much time to prepare, so he starts thinking and just stressing out over that kind of stuff. In America, the tournaments are just like over a weekend, so he likes that better actually.
Well, final question. Do you think you can win this tournament this weekend?
He said he really doesn't know because there's a lot of Korean players here, but he's just going to believe in himself. And yeah.
운이 좋았어요. 어떻게 보면 그냥 그래서 그런 건데 제 실력을 믿어야겠죠.
But did you want to give any shout outs at this moment?
He wants to give a shout out to Slayer's Boxer and Slayer's Jessica. Thank you to Jessica, and also he hopes Boxer gets well soon.
좋겠고요. 그리고 가연이 누나, 제시카 누나, 누나한테 너무 고맙다는 말 하고 싶고 요한이 형도 빨리 완쾌하셔서 게임 복귀하셨으면 좋겠어요.